What's up, guys, and welcome back to another man versus deer video. In today's video, I am super excited to have the new Timber Ninja A1 aluminum series sticks right here in my hands. We're going to do a review on these and show you what they're all about. Let's jump into it.
This is probably one of my bigger bucks to date.
Guys, I cannot believe that actually worked.
Looks like a double long shot.
It was hot, really hot. Welcome back to the channel, guys. If you're new to the channel, make sure that you smash that subscribe button. Definitely like the video, and for sure leave a comment. I absolutely love hearing from you guys. So today, like I said, we're doing a review on the Timber Ninja A1 aluminum series stick. So before we jump any further into the video, I want to take a pause right here and thank Jason and the Timber Ninja team for taking time out of their busy schedules to send me these for a review. They're not paying me for this. I'm not sponsored by them or anything like that, but they were nice enough to send them to me. I'm going to do a review and send them back, and that was super, super cool, these guys, to allow me to do something like that. So Jason and the Timber Ninja team, thank you. Secondly, I've gotten to know these guys a little bit through talking back and forth, and they're a pretty badass group of guys. They're mobile hunters, and specifically they hunt big bucks in mountainous terrain. So these sticks were actually designed by guys that wanted to have really, really light equipment because they're going in really far. Designed by mobile hunters for mobile hunters, and they put out a lot of mobile hunting content, specifically like educational to mountain style mobile hunting. So make sure that you give them a like and a follow on Facebook and YouTube. They're going to put out some content that's worth watching. So we're going to kick this off with a brief overview of the stick before I jump into some more specific things. First things first, this thing is made in America. That is a huge deal to me. Should be a huge deal to you. They assemble these things right there in North Carolina, and they actually ship them to you ready to hunt out of the box, no assembly required. So this is the Timber Ninja A1 aluminum series stick. They've sent it with the 6mm rope attachment, and right away I notice how sleek and light this thing is. It's a really solid, really good looking stick. There are actually no protruding nuts or bolts, which is good because that means they're going to stack together pretty flush, and it also means there's nothing on there to snag clothing or rope or anything like that. So I'm just going to start at the top of the stick and work my way down and tell you a little bit about it. It's got a really, really aggressive bite on the bracket. The bracket is fairly deep, and that's a close-up of it right there. The steps are actually made of polymer, and I don't know if anyone else does this, but it's kind of unique to this stick. That's where they shave a lot of the weight off with this thing. Very, very strong, durable material, but it's super, super light. They attach that step with one bolt, and that's where they shave a little bit more of the weight off of there, and they actually inset the body of the stick into the step a little bit to prevent any turning of the step, and that's how they're able to do that one bolt attachment. The body on this thing is aluminum. They got a Versa button right in the middle, and yeah, that's pretty much the stick in a nutshell. So next we're going to dive into some of the specifics. We're going to talk about some of the numbers, the inches and the pounds that I know that some of you gear guys are dying to get into. The overall length of this stick from top to bottom is 20 inches, and they have different options, but the one they sent me is 20 inches. From step to step is 18 inches. The back of the bracket, from the back side of the bracket to the front side of the step, that's 3.5 inches. This stick, as I weighed it on my scale at home, came in at 1.6 pounds. That means for them together are going to be about 6.4, give or take an ounce or two. And to compare that to something that's similar, 3 of the Hawk Helium sticks that I currently have come in at about 9 pounds. So these things are about 3 pounds lighter to something that's fairly comparable. All right, so I'm going to start this part of the video by answering a couple of the most common questions that Jason gets about these sticks, right? One is the standoff bracket and how deep is it, can I fit my foot on it, that kind of thing. The other is, and it has to do with the one bolt attachment system, do I have to worry about any step turn? So we're going to go ahead and talk about the standoff bracket now. I'm going to start off by saying this is not the deepest bracket that I've ever seen on a stick, but it's not supposed to be. These sticks are kind of designed with the minimalist in mind. They want to shed as much weight as possible, and that's why they chose the bracket that they chose. With that being said, I wear a size 10.5 cowboy boot, and I have not for 1 second up here thought that they were too small or unsafe to climb. I'm going to flip you around and show you. So these are my feet on the steps right now, and as you can see, I've got plenty. I can climb these with ease. It's about 3.5 inches from the front of the step to the back, or from the back of the bracket to the front of the step. And whereas I'm not going to be able to use it as a saddle platform, it is completely safe for climbing. I would have no worries about this at all. Now we're going to talk about the step turn, and I'm going to flip this camera around and show you what I'm talking about. He gets some questions, since this only is attached by one bolt, about whether or not the step is going to turn one way or the other if there's weight added on it. I have put all of my weight on one side of these sticks several different times and bounced up and down, and that step did not turn 1 inch. It didn't turn 1 inch because they actually inlay the body of this stick into the step. So it's got one bolt here. It's braced on either side by about 1/4 inch. That step is not going to turn anywhere. The whole step would have to break in order for that to happen. So if you've had worries about either of those two things, I don't think they're worth worrying about. We're going to take a second to talk about how well these sticks bite the tree. I'm going to flip you around and show you the teeth. The teeth on this thing are very, very aggressive, and you can see the gouge marks where they've really dug into that tree and kind of bit down. There is a little bit of play in the stick when I put some weight onto it, but it isn't much, and I think that is just from the rope. I don't think that would be from a strap. So now we're going to look at how well the bottom of these sticks hug the tree, or whether or not you have to worry about kicking out any. I'm going to flip you around here. This is the bottom of the second stick, and I am leaning back and putting all of my weight on this, and it only comes out from the tree just a little bit. When you put side pressure on this, it does not want to kick away from the tree at all. So I think as far as like how well these bite the tree and how little they kick out, they're really, really solid. I can only pull that about 1 inch away from the tree. And I'm at the very top of the last step. I'm going to drop a tape measure and let you know how far it is from the ground to the top of the step. I'm about 5'7", and I've got these things stacked pretty aggressively apart. I also got the version of these sent to me with the aider, so we got an aider on the bottom step. So 4 sticks and an aider. I'm about to tell you how high it is from the ground to the top of the step and kind of what you can expect to get out of these height-wise. I am just shy of 16 foot, like 2 inches shy of 16 foot, and that is from the top step of the last stick. So you could pull another foot or two of that fairly easily. As far as like putting your stand or your saddle in, you'd probably be hunting really, really close to 20 feet. I'm a pretty short guy. If you guys are taller than that, you can probably get another foot easy out of that. And if you got another stick with another aider, you could easily be 20 plus foot with just 4 of these. Now we're going to look at how these things pack together. And they pack together really, really well in my opinion, and they stack flush. They don't stair step. They stack one on top of the other. And the teeth from the step on top actually go into these little holes here, just like so, and they all pack together. When you're done packing them together, you just take your attachment method, be it a strap or a rope, and you run it around just like so. I run it around a couple of times. Wrap it around the Versa knot, give it a little half hitch, and it ain't going anywhere. And that's not going anywhere. So these things actually stack together pretty noiselessly as long as you get the rope tight. There is a little bit of a rattle, but you've got metal going up against the polymer step there. If a guy were to take just a little bit of stealth tape and put right in here, or a bungee cord, you know, and put it around it just to take any play out of it, I don't think they would make any noise at all. But right out of the factory with no stealth strip or nothing on there, it's going to carry relatively quiet anyways. All right, so I'm not a saddle hunter. I actually use an XOP Vanish, and I'm going to show you guys the easiest way I found to attach these sticks to this kind of setup. You're basically going to leave them hold just like this, and you're going to set them down on the seat. You're going to take one bungee cord on either side, and you're going to basically just run it from the bottom over the sticks and then to the top, and they're actually going to carry very, very well, just like that. I'm gonna flip this camera up and show you guys what they look like when they're on my back. All right, guys, so now that I showed you how I attach them to the stand, I wanted to show you how they look and whether or not there's any sound when you move around. So here's how they look. And as far as sound goes, if you really jump, you can get a little bit of sound, but otherwise, they carry on there super solid with just 2 bungee cables. They got a really, really low profile. The way they're packed on here, they're not gonna reach out and grab any branches when you're walking into the woods. So as far as packability, I give these things an A+. They're very, very compact. You could easily fit them all 4 together inside of a backpack. For you saddle hunters out there, the 20-inch sticks are extremely packable. So purchase options. These are the 20-inch model. In the A1 series, you can get a 20-inch or a 24-inch. These came with the 6mm rope. You can do the 6mm rope for $8 per stick, or you can do a Versa strap for $10 per stick. Pricing on these is about $85 per stick. That's straight from their website. And then they also have options like this one for an 8er. I forgot to look at how much the 8er costs, but I'm going to put a link to the Timber Ninja website in the description. That way, if you guys want to check these things out, you can. But they're super customizable. Different links, different attachment methods, 8ers, no 8ers. You can really, really kind of customize these things out to how you want them. All right, guys, so that is pretty much the end of the video. I'm going to give you my closing thoughts before we close out on this thing, and that is that these things are super solid sticks. They're probably the best climbing stick that I've ever got the privilege to use, and I say that for 3 reasons. 1, they're super, super light. Nothing pisses me off more than a heavy climbing stick. 2, they don't kick out hardly at all. I mean, I was ripping on that thing, and it would only give me about 1 inch, which beats any stick that I've climbed with so far. My Hawk Heliums with a Versa strap actually pull out a lot more than these things do. So huge, huge plus for me. And the third thing is packability. These things are going to be able to be stuffed in a backpack. You can put them on the back of a stand, and they're not going to be wider than your stand is. Super packable, lightweight, and just an all-around solid product. More than anything, one of the reasons that I like these things, though, is that they're made in America, and the guys behind the stick are just super solid guys. Jason and the team at Timber Ninja do a lot for the mobile hunting community, and they're just really, really solid guys. So I'm going to put a link to their website in the description below. Make sure that you check that out. Make sure that you follow those guys on Facebook and YouTube. Really, really super solid guys. If I was going to order a set of these myself, I would definitely probably do the Versa strap. The 6mm rope, if you're fine with that, cool. I would prefer a thicker one, to be honest. So in this case, I would order the Versa strap or like a thicker, like an 8mm rope or something like that. Just my personal preference. A lot of you guys are probably just fine running that. And I hear a lot of guys talking about the V bracket, and it needs to be deeper. How deep is the V bracket? So here's the deal. These are minimalist sticks, right? They're made to be as light as possible. They're made for someone who's going to be hiking a mile in, a mile out, and you don't want to feel these things on your back. With that in mind, the only way to make a stick lighter is to shave some metal off. So are these brackets as deep as they could be? No, but they're lighter because of that. And you guys got to keep that in mind when you're looking at these sticks. They're made to be the lightest set of aluminum sticks on the market, and they're made to be that way. So I say all that to say that I've climbed up and down the tree a ton of times with these things, and not once did I ever feel like my feet were going to fall off or slip because the V bracket wasn't big enough. Could I use it as a saddle platform? No. But is it safe to climb up and down the tree with? More than. Absolutely. So keep that in mind when you're looking at these. The next one. Well, guys, that pretty much brings us to the end of the video. I really enjoyed doing this review. Thanks again to Jason and the Timber Ninja team. I hope it was very informative to you. If it was, make sure you smash that subscribe button. Definitely like the video. And I've got about 10 climbs on these things now, and I'll probably get a few more in before I send them back. So if you got any questions, drop them in the comments below. Links to the sticks, links to the Timber Ninja Facebook page and YouTube are going to be in the description. Make sure you like and follow that stuff. And I really appreciate you guys watching. I'll catch you in the next one.